What do I want to talk to you about today? And if you're a creative, most everybody has been through this one at least once in their career. I guarantee it. You've been through it once. And that's, how do you land your first client? But more importantly, how do you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for that first client? Well, let's get into it. So, when you come out of school or you make the decision to be a freelancer, a contractor, or whatever the case may be, you have to go out and find somebody to do work for. Nobody really tells you how to do that. Nobody really tells you how to mentally prepare yourself for that. And the reason why I say mentally prepare yourself is because you have to present as confident. But also nobody tells you how to emotionally be ready for that. And why do you have to be emotionally ready for that? Because you're gonna experience rejection. You're gonna experience time where you're not getting the client. And it's not because you're not good enough. It's not because you're never gonna find work. It's just, it really is hard to get that first one because you don't know what your direct match is. You don't know what your area of focus necessarily is. And if you do, you haven't been chasing that until now. These things are things that I've done to gain the first client. And nobody ever really wants to hear this first one. Volunteer your services, which ultimately means do one for free. Not everybody wants to go that route, but what that does is it builds your confidence so that you can prove to yourself and prove to that potential client that you can do the work. Because if you don't have other stuff to show, nobody knows who you are or what you're doing. Now you're gonna start to feel a little confident. You're gonna walk a little bit taller. You're gonna hold your head up. That is gonna make you feel great going into the next one. After that, you still want to get that first paying client. So how do you do that now? Well, you start to put that first job together so that somebody can see something you've done. You ask that client or whoever you've done work for, if you know anybody that wants to get something done, tell them I'm willing to do it, and you can do it at a discount just until you build up your clientele. But that first one is the one that you want to land. The first one is the one that builds your confidence and sets the tone for maybe who you're gonna be as a designer. That first one is everything. So put your whole heart, your whole soul into that first one. But you're gonna gain that client by presenting yourself as confident and knowledgeable about what you do. What you need to do is let them know how your service can benefit them. But you have to know what your service is and how you benefit other people. Not everybody does what we do. And yes, there's a lot of competition, but not everybody is doing what we do. What is it that you have that nobody else has? And everybody has something. You just might not know what it is yet because maybe you just came out of school. Maybe you just left that salary job because you decided you wanted to make more money and be a freelancer, or you just wanted to work on your own schedule. Figure out what it is that makes you special in this area. For me, it wasn't just the fact that I do creative stuff. What it was for me is my clients felt like I was teaching them how to find the right person. I wasn't just selling myself. I was selling design as a whole. I believe in everybody coming up together. With something as simple as doing print jobs, for instance, most of my clients didn't know what CMYK was or RGB. So I would walk them through that and be like, well, if you ever need to find another designer because for some reason you can't find me, these are the things that you should ask. These are the proper questions for sizing. If you want to do it in pixels or inches and things like that, like what DPI do things need to be at? So I try to get the client to understand so they start feeling comfortable. And then I go, even if you don't use me, I just want you to know how to do it. That's what I always say to my clients. And you know what they say? We like how you operate. And that will be the start of your story as a contractor, as a freelancer, and as breaking off on your own. It's that moment when you know, no matter what, that client is going to run with you because they felt so comfortable with you that they wanted to take that journey with you. But that only happens by you having that thing that they want. And it's not just the work. It is you. You're ultimately selling you. You are very important to this craft. You might not know it yet, but you're very important to this craft. And once you find that, your chest sticks out, your head goes up, and you carry yourself a little bit different. Some people call it swagger. Some people call it cocky. But whatever it is, own it. You get the first one by showing who you are as a creative. But that all starts up here. You have to believe it for somebody else to believe it. Because if you come halfway, clients see that. You pitch an idea to a client or you tell them what your service is and you seem like a little standoffish or you're a little shy because you're not sure how they're going to receive you, they typically don't want you, or they're going to take you to the bank because they're going to get something for almost nothing because you're not confident enough to give yourself to them. It's like asking somebody out on a date. That's basically what it is. That first one, you're nervous. You don't want that rejection. You don't want to hear that no. But I tell you this, that no will turn into yeses because that no is going to force you to practice your pitch.
I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice?
It's going to force you to go into your speech or spill with a client where you know it by heart. You're not recreating it every time. You'll practice it in the mirror. You're going to have something for everything they say, and you're going to come off so smooth and so cool. They're going to want you. Everybody wants the big shiny thing at some point. Why can't you be it? You are it. Whether you know it or not, you're the big shiny thing. You are the thing that people want to get their job done in the creative market space. Just package your stuff up, button it up, have a resume, have a reel, have a website, and don't underestimate the power of a business card. I know a lot of things are done on our phones now, but coming prepared, people appreciate that because if you come prepared for your own stuff, that is what they think you're going to do with their stuff, and typically you will. Go after that first one. Take the chance. Be ready for the rejection. And if you get rejected, you got to find a way to bounce back. Know that you're good enough. Go back and look at your work. Research other people's work. Talk to your friends. Talk to other designers and ask them, how can you make yours better? How can you package it in a way that looks cohesive so when clients are looking at this, they're like, that's what we want. I want you to succeed. I don't want you to go through some of the pains and suffering that I did trying to get started or trying to get noticed, trying to get more money, trying to get a client. I want you to have it a little bit easier. Ultimately, what I'm telling you to do to get your first client is package your product, which is your service, your skill, what you do. Present yourself confident. Practice your pitch. So that way when you go to a client, you're not fumbling. If they ask you a question, you'll never say, I don't know. You keep it running. You keep the conversation going. Ultimately, you are selling yourself. Sell it. Own it. Be that person that they want, because you are good enough. I need you to hit that like button. Yeah, the one down there, the like button. Just hit it for me. After you do that, subscribe if you didn't already. And why do I want you to subscribe? Because I want to take this journey with you, and I want you to take it with me. And I needed to keep going. It's because of you that I'm doing what I'm doing. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say to you. Stay creative. Stay positive. Stay focused. But most of all, at the end of it all, stay true to you.